Hi, I'm Peter Castor.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Lostis.
Hi, my name is Audrey Rostov.
My name is Jonathan Cantor.
My name is David Holtzman.
Hi, my name is Carl Josart.
My name is Nan Zhang.
Hi, my name is Mike Konzen.
I am Chuck Zarumsky.
My name is Fran Koch, and this is my wonderful husband of 61 years, Roger Koch.
Hi, I'm Elke Koch, and I'd like to introduce my husband, Paul Koch.
So if there's one thing that I could change in the world, it would be that every child gets early, enriched education.
If I could change the world, I would make sure that every child in the United States gets a good basic education with a strong civic education in what makes our country great.
If I could change one thing in the world, it would be to eliminate treatable forms of global blindness.
If I could change one thing in the world, it would be to triple the amount of empathy.
If I could change one thing in the world, it would be for us to find a way to live in harmony with nature.
If there were one thing that I could change in the world, it would be for people to stop thinking that our society is a zero-sum game.
If I could change one thing in the world, it would be to prevent Alzheimer's disease.
If there's one thing I could change in the world, it would be to see people doing what I see students in arts and sciences doing day in and day out, which is tackling difficult questions and trying to find ways of solving them despite their disagreements.
If there was one thing I could change in the world, it would be the way that individuals with psychiatric illnesses are currently treated.
If there's one thing I can change in the world, that would be to make immunotherapy more affordable.
If I could change one thing in the world, I would get everyone to understand all of the cultures of the world so that they could welcome other points of view and be open to other points of view.
Welcome to Founders Day.
Welcome to Founders Day.
Welcome.
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 And welcome to Founders Day.
Please welcome to the stage Dean Yamamoto and Chancellor Martin.
Good evening. My name is Dean Yamamoto, and I serve as chair of the Washington University Alumni Board of Governors. On behalf of our board and the Washington University Alumni Association, welcome to Founders Day. It's a joy to see our WashU community gathered for this distinguished annual event, which began in 1953. We on the Alumni Board of Governors are dedicated to fostering connections with our fellow alumni through meaningful events and programming. WashU's alumni community spans the globe and includes more than 150,000 graduates. My sincere thanks to every alumnus who remains engaged with and supports WashU. Tonight, we honor some of our most highly accomplished community members. Their persistence, tenacity, and vision stand as an inspiration to us all. Like them, I encourage each one of us to ask the question, if I could change one thing in the world, what would it be? Now, I'd like to introduce you to the chair of Washington University's Board of Trustees, Andy Bursky. Andy earned his bachelor's and his master's degrees in chemical engineering and economics at WashU. And as a student, he served as an undergraduate representative to the Board of University. He is the founder, CEO, and chairman of Atlas Holdings, an industrial holding company in Connecticut. Andy and his wife, Jane, who earned her bachelor's degree in French from WashU, are dedicated to advancing the university through their leadership and through their philanthropy. Please join me in welcoming Andy.
Good evening. Good evening. That's better. On behalf of the university's Board of Trustees, we thank you for joining us this evening. I believe I bring a unique perspective as board chair relative to my many distinguished predecessors, as I am the very first alum to serve as board chair in WashU's 173-year history. My love for our university runs deep. It's my honor this evening to introduce someone whose love for WashU rivals my own. Chancellor Andrew D. Martin earned his doctorate in political science here at Washington University in 1998. He joined us in 2019 as the 15th chancellor of the university. And while no chancellor ever knows what lies ahead, the road he has already traveled in his first 6 years has been extraordinary, and it has prepared him well for the challenges that lie ahead. In his 2019 inaugural address, Chancellor Martin laid out an ambitious vision defined by 3 core institutional priorities: academic distinction, St. Louis engagement and impact, and educational access. And we are fortunate to have had the opportunity to join Andrew's bold vision, working together to establish and execute our strategic plan. Focusing on the unique impact WashU can make in the world, university partners have worked hand in hand to design this blueprint for the future. This blueprint is being fueled by the With You campaign, launched in May of this year, which will enable us to mobilize WashU's mission to create a better, brighter world. Today, we face unprecedented headwinds, as do all institutions of higher learning in our country. But no institution is better prepared to succeed in the years and decades ahead, in no small measure because of the leadership of Andrew Martin. He has brought his extraordinary leadership not only to Washington University, his clarity regarding the central institutional principles of excellence, academic freedom, free expression, and institutional neutrality have propelled our chancellor onto the national stage as a key thought leader in these challenging times. We are most fortunate to have him at the helm as our university marches forward boldly into the future. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Andrew D. Martin.
Thank you, Andy, for those incredibly generous words. I think I should probably take you on the road more. And I also want to thank you for your extraordinary leadership as the first alumnus to chair our Board of Trustees. What a meaningful reminder that this institution belongs to all of us who have been shaped by it. Tonight's Founders Day celebration brings us together to honor colleagues whose work exemplifies the very best of WashU, those whose scholarship, teaching, and service inspire us all. Before we recognize tonight's honorees, I'd like to reflect briefly on how we've navigated this complex moment in higher education while staying true to the mission that's defined us for more than 170 years. Andy referenced the headwinds that institutions like ours are facing, and he's absolutely right. We're spending more time this year handling challenges such as the perception of the declining value of higher education and significant shifts in federal support, especially for those universities that drive medical breakthroughs and world-changing scientific discoveries. While we could spend our energy lamenting these problems and pointing fingers, here at WashU, we're using the pressures of the moment to become even more intentional about our mission and even more committed to demonstrating our impact. I want you all to know that I am profoundly optimistic about WashU's future. In the past year, we've taken the opportunity to solidify our institutional values, to re-examine our programs in light of our priorities, to build relationships, and to invest in our support services with the goal of becoming a truly excellent, accessible, inclusive, and transformative place to study, teach, work, and give back. Our community is vast, and I've been humbled by the support we've received from students, parents, faculty, staff, alumni, philanthropists, and neighbors. Our With You campaign, launched this past May, has made it clear that together we are people who aspire to be the change we wish to see in the world. With You captures something essential about WashU, that we stand alongside one another in order to achieve greatness, to create impact that none of us can achieve alone. You can see this greatness we're building together every day on our campuses. It's at the Bauer Leaders Academy, where students are developing the skills to lead with both excellence and ethics, learning that creating value and living your values aren't competing priorities, but inseparable ones. It's at our School of Medicine, where Dr. Jeffrey Gordon and his team have developed a therapeutic food to combat childhood malnutrition that has just been named one of Time Magazine's best inventions of 2025. It's at our new School of Public Health in projects like Trusted Tap, where our engineers and public health experts are empowering households across America to understand what's in their drinking water. And it's in all those who joined our In St. Louis for St. Louis team to respond to this year's tornado devastation by showing up when it mattered most, and who are now stepping up again to feed the hungry in our region. From where I stand, surrounded by the type of greatness that reaches beyond the individual, out into the community and across the world, well, I can't imagine being anything other than optimistic, and I hope you feel that way too. Each of you here is part of it. Each of you inspires me. Each of you fuels the potential of our students and faculty so we can, together, make a world of difference. Each of you is building a legacy of excellence alongside us, and we couldn't fulfill our mission without you. So thank you again for spending your evening with us. I'll now turn the program over to Dean Yamamoto to present our Distinguished Faculty Awards.
It's my pleasure to announce our 2025 honorees. You can find their biographies by scanning the QR code or entering the website address in your program, and I encourage you to read them at your leisure. The strength of an institution is measured by many things, not the least of which are the promise of its students, the caliber of the education received, and the scholarship of its faculty. Tonight, we recognize 2 faculty members with the Distinguished Faculty Award. Please turn to the screens for a video about our first honoree.
Dave Holtzman is brilliant, both as an investigator and even more as a human being. Dave's work on how the ApoE genetic modifier affects Alzheimer's disease susceptibility has been a breakthrough.
The Hope Center came about back in 2003 when the main goal was to try to better understand common mechanisms that underlie different neurodegenerative diseases so that people could start working on developing better diagnostics and treatments for these diseases.
As chair of neurology and director of the Hope Center for Neurological Diseases, he has assembled one of the world's largest and most influential Alzheimer's disease research groups. This is why I believe the massive problem of this devastating disease will be solved here at WashU in the coming years, and it will reflect the brilliance and leadership of Dave Holtzman.
So in terms of co-founding C2N Diagnostics with my colleague Randy Bateman at WashU, we were trying to better understand the metabolism of one of the proteins that builds up in the brain in Alzheimer's disease called amyloid. We were detecting that we could measure the metabolism of this important protein in real time in people. So that ultimately led to us forming this company, which we thought we could try to develop biomarkers for the disease at the same time. I do like being the director of the Knight ADRC because it's really bringing together a lot of resources that help the entire community that works on Alzheimer's disease. And now there are outstanding blood tests that also can allow one to diagnose the disease when people become symptomatic. It's very exciting because it's really changing the ability to get people on new FDA-approved therapies by not having to do as many invasive tests anymore. There was a Jeopardy screenshot where the answer to the question was about C2N Diagnostics creating the first blood test for Alzheimer's disease. And I think as soon as I saw it, I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Something that I never would have thought might be possible was actually being used in people now effectively. So that was very exciting. What makes WashU unique in regard to neuroscience is really what I think makes WashU unique overall, which is an incredible history not only of science, but of collaboration. It's really in the bones of the place. From the moment I ever got here 30 years ago, I could just see there was something about the culture that imbued not only this great science, but a science where everybody is doing this together.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. David Holtzman.
Dave, in recognition of your exemplary research into the pathogenesis of Alzheimer's disease, your persistence in finding less invasive and more innovative ways to diagnose this devastating disease, and for your decades-long investment in mentoring the next generation of researchers, I'm honored to present you with the Distinguished Faculty Award.
I've known Peter 20 years at least. He is ebullient and charming and friendly. He's generous and just a really good person.
I study the era of the Founding Fathers. What really interests me isn't just the politics of that period, but really the policy making, the realities of governance during that time. People tried to solve these puzzles in the past, these challenges that they faced. When you teach the history of the United States, and you've got to talk about moments of success and failure, you have to talk about enslavement, native dispossession, you've got to talk about exclusion, and all of that, people come into that with really strong opinions. And that conversation only works if people can treat each other with respect. I am struck by the degree to which our students do that. They arrive here with an ability to do that, and what I hope is that that's one of the things they take with them when they graduate. I'm sure they argue, I'm sure they pick on each other, I'm sure that goes on in the residence halls in ways I don't see, but what I see in the classroom are students who consistently support each other.
He really embodies what a distinguished faculty member is. He has excellent research of his own. He's an excellent teacher. He's an excellent mentor to graduate students. He's a very renowned scholar in his own right, but he puts that aside to focus on other people's success. And I think for him, he defines success as helping other people achieve their own success.
It's a great university. It supports its faculty very well. But every day I get to walk into a classroom where I have students who ask terrific questions, who treat each other with respect, and who want to engage in these sort of big topics. That not only I think is important for them, but that's what fuels and propels the research and the writing that I do.
Well, I work really closely with Peter in his capacity as the Associate Vice Dean of Research. I think we have to thank him for a lot of the successes of our faculty, and it's a real pleasure for me to be able to do that work in partnership with him.
Receiving this Founders Day Award is humbling and kind of overwhelming, but it's also tremendously meaningful to me. I mostly just feel tremendously grateful, not just for this award, for what WashU has given me throughout my entire career.
Please welcome to the stage Peter Castor.
Peter, in recognition of your deep introspection into the forming of the United States government, your consistent commitment to teaching students about civil dialogue and disagreement, and your mentorship of WashU faculty and their research, it's my honor to present you with the Distinguished Faculty Award.
welcome to the stage Tanya Edmond.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanya Edmond, and I'm the William E. Gordon Distinguished Professor at the George Warren Brown School of Social Work and a member of the board of the American Academy of Social Work and Social Welfare. I also have the pleasure of serving as the chair of the Faculty Senate Council. Tonight, we recognize this year's recipients of the Arthur Holly Compton Faculty Achievement Award and the Carl and Gertie Corey Faculty Achievement Award. These honors are among the highest forms of recognition for our faculty members. Each year, our faculty nominate their peers for these awards. Then, the Faculty Achievement Awards Advisory Committee makes recommendations to the Chancellor, who selects the final recipients. These individuals are exemplary scholars, teachers, and mentors who set a high standard for their colleagues across the university. Presented to faculty from the 8 schools of the Danforth campus, the Arthur Holly Compton Faculty Achievement Award is named for Washington University's first Nobel laureate and 9th chancellor. And now, a video about the Compton Award recipient.
If you haven't met Jonathan yet, I would encourage you to introduce yourself. He is a very approachable person, and I can give you a couple tips. So mention biodiversity conservation, mention anything in St. Louis. He knows all the faculty at WashU, so you can quiz him on those things. If you throw in lizards or cats, you will have an instant best friend.
I'm an evolutionary biologist. I study how new species evolve and how species adapt to living wherever it is they live. I've spent my career studying lizards, so people are very surprised to learn that I'm now studying cats, and especially domestic cats. I would teach a class to first-year students called The Science of Cats, and I would lure them into the class on cats, and then I'd teach them how we study nature and biodiversity using cats as the vehicle.
Jonathan created the Living Earth Collaborative in 2018, an amazing idea, not just to bring together these world-renowned institutions, Washington University, the Missouri Botanical Garden, and the St. Louis Zoo, but to bring together scholars both within the city and internationally. Washington University is a leader in many types of research, but with regards to biodiversity, conservation, science specifically, I think the Living Earth Collaborative has played a major role.
The LEC has given us the opportunity to take the complementary expertise that often exists at the different institutions and bring them together to do things that none of the institutions could do on its own. We're focusing on 3 particular areas. The first one is tropical forests, the great powerhouses of biodiversity in the world. The second area is urban biodiversity. And then the last area is what we call biodiversity and human well-being. The idea that the health of people and the health of nature are inextricably linked together, and finding ways to advance both at the same time is critically important. Well, it's such an exciting time in science. We have all these tools, from artificial intelligence to genome sequencing to satellite scanning of the entire Earth. We really have the sort of data that we've been trying to have, my entire career, but now it's there. So the ability to not only answer the questions that we've been working on for decades, even centuries, but even to think of new questions that would never have occurred to us before. There's so much we can do, and getting to be involved in some of this has been such a great thrill to me.
Please welcome to the stage Jonathan Lossos.
Jonathan, in recognition of your visionary belief that institutions working together are greater than the sum of their parts, your inspiring advocacy for living creatures to live in harmony with the earth, and your innovative methods to engage students in the classroom, both regionally and globally, it is my honor to present you with the Arthur Holly Compton Faculty Achievement Award.
The Carl and Gertie Corey Faculty Achievement Award is granted to our most distinguished faculty on the medical campus. This award is named for the pioneering couple who became the university's 5th and 6th Nobel laureates. And now a video about the Corey Award recipient.
I met Chuck Zaremski back when we first conceived the Taylor Family Institute for Innovative Psychiatric Research in 2012, I think it was. My family has been touched by psychiatric issues for several generations that I have seen. With WashU here in town where we live and our business started, it was a natural thing to do to try to start this institution so that other families do not have to suffer some of the things that we have suffered for generations.
Mental health and psychiatric illnesses are really among the most stigmatized things in our society and the most misunderstood. And what the Taylor Family Institute created for us first is complete flexibility to pursue molecules that might not be ready for any kind of NIH funding and allow us to develop novel ideas about the chemistry and the biology.
How far they've come with the biology of psychiatric medicines, they get more and more close to understanding how these molecules in these potential and current drugs work, and that means that they can bootstrap off of those and to produce some really great drugs.
The second thing that Taylor Family Institute gave us is the opportunity to go take novel agents, some of which are already available clinically, and to work with clinician scientists who are doing very sophisticated human clinical trials to actually look at, can we turn some of these agents that are already drugs in the public domain and turn them into potential treatments.
Chuck is just such a great guy, very smart, but he also played soccer. He played soccer for St. Louis University. I've heard some stories from a few opponents of his, and I think they're very glad that he's in this business and getting out of soccer.
Clinical practice is like being in a clinical department, running a department is about what's the success of the team and how do you make the team more successful. I was coaching goalkeepers at St. Louis U for like a dozen years with a guy named Joe Clark who became the WashU head coach. I learned a tremendous amount about coaching, about how to get players to play. That translates, to me, it translates immediately into how you interact as a scientist, a member of a team. If we accomplished anything with department headships, it was getting the faculty to believe they were part of this team. The Founders Day Award is an amazing thing. I would say that I was truly shocked when I got the letter from the Chancellor. Our society is changing, recognizing that psychiatric illnesses are not to be ignored and not to be stigmatized. They are part of human life. That, for a career, is probably one of the best things I've ever seen.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Charles Zaremski.
Chuck, in recognition of your pioneering scholarship that seeks to destigmatize mental illness, your leadership in translating medical research at WashU to the bedside and beyond, and your ability to push ever forward in the pursuit of new therapies, it is my honor to present you with the Carl and Gertie Corey Faculty Achievement Award.
Tonight, we recognize 5 outstanding alumni for their professional achievements, civic contributions, and dedication to their alma mater by presenting them with the Alumni Association's highest honor, the Distinguished Alumni Award. These individuals are bold leaders, truly moving the needle to make a difference in the world, and we're incredibly proud of their affiliation with WashU.
Our medical research is where Nan's heart is. It is her passion and her purpose. And you can see that in the energy, dedication, and curiosity she pours into everything she does. Nan is on a mission to find cures through cutting-edge research, and thanks to her, people around the world are living healthier, longer lives.
We have been driven by our mission to enable legendary discovery from research to cure. Our aspiration to become a legend in bioscience has been filled with the passion and commitment to providing high-quality antibodies and reagents for immunology and cancer research. Today, advancement enables us to create fully human antibodies, leading to the development of immunotherapies.
Nan grew up in China, but came to Washington University for further study in a department of chemistry, where she obtained a master's degree and a PhD working with Dr. John Stephen Taylor. I was delighted to take her into my lab. She joined it in 1991 and spent 2 years here to 1993. With her talents, she has risen to become the executive vice president of this company. And whenever she is here, she stops by my lab to catch up on what we are doing.
Dr. Frieden has contributed over 70 incredible years to Washington University community, making a lasting impact to everyone he encountered. I feel very thankful for his influence and guidance.
Since it was founded in 2002, BioLegend has grown from just 5 employees to over 100 today, expanding its reach around the world.
BioLegend's mission is to enable legendary discovery, and this motivates me to come to work every day. My involvement in developing new products, helping the companies to launch reagents to assist researchers to understand the disease and finding cures, made it very rewarding. Receiving Founders Day Award is both an immense joy and a humble experience. The award is not just a testament to my contribution, it's also a reflection of collective contributions from many alumni. We uphold the university's legacy, achieve dreams, and making better futures for next generations.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Nan Zheang.
Nan, in recognition of your cutting-edge research to find cures for our most persistent diseases, your commitment to corporate and environmental responsibility, and your shining example of mission and action so that people around the world may live healthier, longer lives, it's my honor to present you with the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Carl brings a unique approach to every situation that he comes to, which is the ability to blend both business acumen with social work values. And so he never loses sight of the community that he's serving, and that's remarkable. It's just a very difficult storm to fight often to keep those social work values centered when there are real fiscal and financial crises. And yet Carl somehow has that secret ability to do so.
We're a social service agency that has been at the heart of the Houston community for over 113 years. So we do everything from providing career and employment counseling to emergency financial assistance. We provide counseling to children and adults. And we also are very committed to lifting people out of poverty. Celebration Company is the happiest place on earth. It's where everyone feels like a rock star. It's a social entrepreneurial program for individuals living with disabilities. The participants in that program are hired into our company and they receive a salary for every hour that they work. And the idea is to teach real-world life skills through running an actual business. Part of our mission at JFS is not just to provide individual services, but to create a sense of community.
At the heart of it is Carl's ability to create these long-lasting community connections. It's not just about success for him and his career right now, but ensuring that the next generation of folks will be in line to step in and lead the field.
We are committed to training the mental health professionals of the future. There aren't enough of them to go around, and our community is in dire need right now. So that every single person who calls here for counseling is not just getting a secretary or an admin, they're getting a trained master's level professional, hearing their story and making sure that we're getting them in as quickly as they need to be and with exactly the right clinician. I think what gives me the most hope for the future is seeing the energy and the passion of young people. They see an open horizon, the possibility, they see the world the way it should be. I am constantly impressed and inspired by the energy and the passion that they bring to some of the most complicated challenges that our world faces right now.
Please welcome to the stage Carl Josehart.
Carl, in recognition of your successful career, blending business acumen with social work values, your agility in creating services for people who are most in need, and your pursuit of building community wherever you go, it is my honor to present you with the Distinguished Alumni Award.
In his professional role, Jonathan helped define what it means to be a monopoly in the digital age and what it takes to fight against one. In his role as Assistant Attorney General for the Antitrust Division of the U.S. Department of Justice under President Biden, Jonathan took on corporate giants such as Google and Apple. He also spearheaded one of the most important antitrust cases in decades, leading to the high-profile case against Ticketmaster Live Nation. Jonathan earned the nickname the Trust Buster from the New York Times for good reason.
I grew up in a small apartment in New York City, Queens, New York. Loving family, lovely neighborhood, solidly middle class. I was the first person in my family to go to law school and the first person in my family to become a lawyer. One of the things that I've learned throughout my career is that you cannot succeed on your own. You're only as good as the people on your team. And so when I went to the DOJ, building my team was critical. People who are smart, who have different points of view, who come from different walks of life and have different perspectives. And the whole truly was greater than the sum of its parts.
In 2022, in partnership with the Federal Trade Commission, where Jonathan previously worked as an antitrust attorney, the Department of Justice Antitrust Division blocked a record number of mergers on antitrust grounds. Under his leadership, the DOJ also successfully recorded its first conviction in a criminal monopoly case in over 4 decades.
We want people to be out there innovating, coming up with great ideas, realizing the fruits of their innovations and the merits of their hard work. That is all what we should encourage in this country and world over. And free, open, competitive markets preserve those opportunities. And my experience at WashU was invaluable in giving me the tools that I needed in order to attack those challenging legal problems. That's because it's a great institution, but it's really because the great institution is filled with great people who care deeply about their students and deeply about educating their students to develop the tools they need in order to succeed. I took every class I could with Professor Drobak when I was in law school. He was my antitrust professor. I learned antitrust from John Drobak, and I pursued that as a career. I'm really honored and touched that this fall I will be co-teaching a course at WashU Law School with John Droback. And so it is incredibly humbling for me to now be standing up in front of the students, teaching along somebody that I've revered for my entire career. The crowning achievement of my life is my family. My beautiful wife, Lisa, whom I met at WashU Law, my beautiful children. We do everything in life together, and my success is their success, and I owe everything to them.
Please welcome to the stage Jonathan Cantor.
Jonathan, in recognition of your extensive achievements as a public servant to our nation, your unwavering focus on keeping markets free, open, and competitive so that everyone has the opportunity to succeed, and your generous support of WashU Law students as they navigate their own education and career paths, it is my honor to present you with the Distinguished Alumni Award.
I've known Mike Conson maybe 15 years now. He's very friendly, he's very warm, he is very engaging, and he's very engaged in the world.
For 60 years, we've been planning and designing a number of things, from cities to amazing destinations that people visit around the world. Our biggest joys come from giving people amazing, life-changing experiences.
Their presence in St. Louis is very important, but they're probably not as well known as they're known around the globe.
We have designers of all kinds, graphic designers, artists, some of whom are Sam Fox grads, sculptors, a wide variety, exhibit designers, media producers. I would say that some of our favorite projects are ones like SeaWorld Abu Dhabi that opened in 2023, which is the largest indoor theme park, and has to do with teaching a whole generation of Emiratis, about the world's oceans. And Space Shuttle Atlantis, which is at Kennedy Space Center, which celebrates both the history of the Space Shuttle program, but really inspires the next generation to become involved in space travel as an astronaut or an engineer or whatever it might be. Those things, I think that they brought together the best of our skills in service of a really great mission.
Well, Mike has taken a leadership role. He's on our National Council. One of the things that we appointed Mike to do was to lead our strategic plan. And our strategic plan's components include connecting us to the rest of the world, and not just to being isolated in St. Louis, but like his own practices about the entire world.
This city is full of creative people and creative companies that are doing incredible work around the world. It's also very helpful that the Sam Fox School is here to be kind of a center point. We believe in advancing and growing young people here at PGAP, believing in the bigger sense in the future, and the future of what architects and designers and artists can do to change the world and make it better. I think that all of our lives are shaped by society around us, but I think having a university like WashU be a big part of that is very special. I think it challenges us all to do better.
Please welcome to the stage Michael Conson.
Mike, in recognition of your global success as a leader in experiential design, your commitment to fostering creativity and innovation in St. Louis, and your unwavering service to the Sam Fox School and WashU broadly, it is my honor to present you with the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Dr. Rostov is a humanistic and inspirational role model and mentor. She takes an active role in helping students reach their full potential as physicians and as people.
I really wanted to establish my own practice with my own vision, pun intended. One of the most important people and mentors was Dr. Mort Smith. He's bright, he's funny, and he loves to teach. Not many other people, I think, could make pathology just jump off the page.
Dr. Rostov has said if she could change one thing in the world, she would choose to eliminate treatable forms of global blindness. There's perhaps no one more capable of contributing to that goal than Dr. Rostov herself.
Through Cure Blindness Project, I do a lot of this work in under-resourced countries. I do surgeon training, curriculum development. We also have a prevention program as well. For example, in Nepal, now India, and soon coming to Ethiopia, we have a program training their female community healthcare workers. So just with a light source and a little bit of special dye that they can put in the eye, they can do early diagnosis and treatment. They are able to resolve about 95% of what they see, and therefore these people don't go on to develop corneal blindness.
Thanks to her unwavering support of WashU and our students, Dr. Rostov is helping to ensure that our mission of excellence in education, patient care, and public health continues to thrive for generations to come.
My son is now a third-year resident in internal medicine at NYU. He got permission for a global health rotation, so we traveled throughout Ghana. Certainly very appreciative of both my husband as well as my kids for being supportive of my global work, since I couldn't do it without their support. I am so honored and privileged to be able to receive this award and feel that I truly stand on the shoulders of giants who've come before me.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Audrey Rostov.
Audrey, in recognition of your aligned mission with WashU to provide excellent patient care, your tremendous dedication to training other physicians and health workers across the globe, and your vision, pun intended, of ensuring that treatable forms of global blindness be addressed no matter where you live, it is my honor to present you with the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Finally, we close this evening's ceremony with the Robert S. Brookings Award, named for the man who laid the foundation for the university as we know it today. As a successful business leader, Brookings invested much of his personal fortune in the university and served as president of the WashU Board from 1895 to 1928. He spearheaded efforts to secure funds for the land where the Danforth campus is now located, and he helped establish the medical school as one of the world's finest. St. Louis holds a long history of extraordinary business leaders who devoted their time and treasure to advance our institution, and this year's honorees continue the legacy. Please enjoy a video about our 2025 Brookings Award recipients.
The Koch family, Paul, Elke, Roger, and Fran, have demonstrated a deep emotional and fiscal commitment to not only the university's success, but also the broader business community.
I think the best description of us, though, would be serial entrepreneurs. We've had a TV cable business. We've had the smallest hardware chain that you can have, 2 hardware stores. We had a, quote, ready-to-wear store because The people who had that in one of our shopping centers moved out, and here we are trying to sell dresses.
And a bakery.
We had a bakery.
And we had mobile home parks and self-storage, and that's very interesting.
Anything that looked like it was fun or would make money, and most of them were fun.
Our skill sets complement each other. Paul is the attorney, and a lot of attorneys won't agree with this, but I think attorneys determine the outcome they want and develop the fact base to prove that. I'm an accountant. I look at the fact base first and see what the conclusion should be.
Paul and Elke Koch and Roger and Fran Koch conveyed their deep connection to Washington University into transformational philanthropy when they committed in 2019 to establish the Koch Center for Family Enterprise at Olin Business School. This center is dedicated to studying the distinctive features of family-owned businesses and serving the family business community with programs and insights that improve business practices across generations. The Kochs understand firsthand the unique challenges and opportunities of family enterprise.
Turns out that about 89% of the businesses in this country are family businesses. They provide 54% of the GDP. Only about 1 out of 3 survive the second generation, and a small minority are able to survive the third generation. That's because the cultures pull apart, and one of the things that we are trying to do at Washington U with the Koch Center is make family businesses aware of the problems they face.
I feel that WashU stepped up and started to teach some of that, because there are a lot of students enrolled at WashU who have family businesses and decide to stay in them instead of going to work somewhere else. But the education will help them to reach that goal.
The Koch's legacy? A more vibrant region, a better WashU and Olin, smarter owners and operators. I think it's hard to overstate the impact of the Koch family. I'm honored to have a role in advancing their legacy, and I'm committed to making their legacy one that endures.
Quite a while ago, we recognized that one of the things we had to do is develop the concept of do no harm. Do no harm to the other couple. We actually went through and wrote down those things that would commit harm, and those were written into our estate plans, and that's the way things will be handled.
The Koch family's impact spans multiple schools and programs, building upon the strong foundation of their own education here at WashU. Their significant support has benefited the Alvin J. Siteman Cancer Center, provided scholarships and enhanced facilities at Olin Business School, and supported the School of Law, where Paul earned his law degree. Through their generosity, they have funded distinguished professorships across multiple schools.
Being in a family business, you always have somebody there you can count on if things don't work out. Somebody will always pick you up and help you out, and that's important.
My favorite saying is, if you see a turtle on a stump, you know he did not get there alone. Somebody had to pick him up and put him there. And we are a turtle on a stump. We have had some of the finest employees to get us to where we are. We have really been fortunate in the people who have helped us.
Please welcome to the stage Paul and Elke Koch and Roger and Fran Koch.
Paul, Elke, Roger, and Fran in recognition of your resolute support and extraordinary commitment to advancing Washington University, I present you with the Robert S. Brookings Award. Your family has built a lasting legacy at WashU. Through your road-tested wisdom in creating and sustaining Koch Development Company, you have collected and shared the finest best practices and advice for family entrepreneurs today. Your compassionate and intentional approach to do no harm within your own familiar bonds stands as a role model for all businesses. Our world needs your example now more than ever, and your leadership will motivate and inspire countless generations of family businesses to come. Congratulations.
On behalf of our family, I want to express our deepest gratitude for this recognition. But we want also to acknowledge that our contribution represents but a small part of the collective effort that it has required to build and sustain this great university. We're deeply aware of those who have preceded us for the last 173 years. We recognize their legacy and want to express our appreciation for their contribution, and for those who will continue the contribution and the support for years to come, including those of you here. The advancement of Washington University is a multi-generational effort, reliant upon the dedication of many. We are profoundly thankful to the Board of Directors and the Board of Trustees, our incredible Chancellor, Dr. Andrew Martin, our talented faculty, our dedicated alumni, and our hardworking students whose daily effort drives Washington University to its position of excellence. And finally, we want to thank you for the honor and the privilege of being associated with Washington U. Thank you.
Stay or go? Congratulations again to all of tonight's award recipients. Tonight is a reminder that excellence is never solitary. Every breakthrough, every insight, every act of extraordinary teaching happens because of relationships. With students who challenge us, with colleagues who push our ideas further, with staff who make our work possible, and with the family members that bring out our best. Most of all, excellence happens when we spend time with the communities who remind us why it matters. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for just being one of the many, many reasons I'm proud of WashU and very hopeful for the future we're creating together. Have a good evening.